All rise. Support court with Judge Van der Bee is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB1078, McKinney case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Ms. McKinney,
Yes, ma'am.
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Your Honor, I am here to try to recoup costs that I've incurred with my daughter.
All right.
She's 9 years old. She's been with me since birth, and I'm paying for everything. I've been doing it all on my own.
All right.
Without a problem, but I've been doing it all on my own.
All right. And when you say all on your own, Dad isn't helping out financially at all?
At all.
Okay. And you said your daughter's 9.
Yes.
Is she involved in any type of extracurricular activities? That word always messes me up.
Yes, ma'am. Basketball, track and field, and tennis.
All right. Does Dad pay for any of those?
No, ma'am.
How much are the fees associated annually with each one of those?
Annually, probably roughly $4,700.
All right. Is Dad aware that she's in these activities?
Miss McKinney steps forward. She's raised her 9-year-old daughter alone with no financial help. She's here to establish paternity and get support. The judge gets straight to it. Sports costs, $4,700 a year. The alleged father, 0 contribution. He doesn't deny the fling but argues he can't be the father. His excuse? Miss McKinney makes more money, the judge isn't buying it. Then his big claim, he knows his other child is his because the baby is white. The courtroom reacts.
Activities, does he attend those?
No, Your Honor.
So he doesn't pay for those?
No.
So what is the backstory? I mean, she's 9, so were you all in a relationship previously? Like what happened?
We were in a situationship for a weekend.
What in the world is that?
Well, it was a little bit more than a one-night stand. It lasted approximately 72 hours. I was on business in Washington, D.C., and he was there for a teacher's conference. I met him at a nightclub.
Ooh,
and,
I need to be careful what I ask.
Well, listen, the night grew long, and things happened within the next 72 hours. And so, yeah, that's the extent of it.
Okay, and you got pregnant?
Yes.
Okay. Was he involved in the pregnancy?
Well, he was definitely there.
Well, no, throughout your pregnancy.
Oh, throughout? No, ma'am.
Okay. So you just literally had the baby, no help from him, nothing like that. Did he show up at the hospital?
No, he was late.
Okay. So did you all have a DNA test done?
No.
Does he know he's the father?
He doesn't think that he is, and he's the only Caucasian that I've ever been with, so.
Okay. So that's where the issue lies.
Miss McKinney drops a bombshell. Their relationship lasted just 72 hours. They met at a nightclub during her D.C. business trip, and things escalated fast. 9 years later, she's raised their daughter alone, while the alleged father has been MIA. He didn't even show up at the hospital. He arrived a week late. The judge is piecing together the messy backstory, but one thing is clear. This case is far from simple.
Sent text messages, and he sent happy birthdays, you know, things
Okay.
of that nature. How is she doing? So I believe if he didn't care at all, he wouldn't send those text messages. Now, he's done that for the past 9 years. I've just never seen any greenbacks to follow those texts.
Okay. So when he arrived at the hospital, did he sign the acknowledgement of paternity?
No, Your Honor, when I meant he was late, the baby was already a week old at the time. I was already at home. We'd left the hospital. That's what I mean by late.
Oh, so he didn't show up at the hospital at all?
No, Your Honor.
So he didn't sign the birth certificate or any acknowledgement of paternity or anything like that?
No.
Okay. So you're here today to do what exactly?
Well, I was hoping you would be able to help me, first and foremost, establish paternity.
Okay.
At this point.
All right.
And
we
possibly
would definitely have to do that before any child support takes place.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him?
No, that's pretty much it. I've just been doing everything on my own. In my heart of hearts, I know that he is the father. I have no doubt. I'm just needing assistance.
Okay. All right. Sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is what she's saying. Now, let me be clear in my questions, because I just realized that I probably shouldn't have asked that question like that. Now, bypass all the 72-hour stuff that she talked about, right? Now, she's pregnant.
She was.
Okay, you were not involved in that process at all in
No.
terms of the pregnancy.
The alleged father finally speaks, and he's got plenty to say. He doesn't deny the 72-hour fling, but argues Miss McKinney earns more than he does. Then comes the shocker. He's a high school teacher making $660,000 a year. Yes, really. But that's not all. He reveals he has a newborn son with his fiancée, and claims he knows the baby is his because the child is white. The judge's expression says it all. She's not buying it. And when he accuses McKinney of coming after his money out of jealousy, the courtroom tension reaches it.
Look, let me just start off by saying that most of what she said is essentially true. Although there's some giant omissions in there and some things that you need to take into account to get the full picture.
Well, does it involve the 72-hour
So
thing?
we were involved approximately that amount of time, yes.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't want to know any specific details about that.
I'm not here to give you the details of it. I'm just here to tell you that we were in an intimate relationship on and off for about 72 hours, yes.
Okay. So, after you found out she was pregnant, what happened?
Well, first let me add some context to everything before I answer that, Your Honor. She works for the federal government. I'm a teacher. I'm a high school teacher. She makes significantly more money than I do. I make about $60,000 a year. I don't know the exact figure of her annual income, but I know it's a lot more than that. She's in far better position to support her daughter than I would be, and what she's asking for.
You said her daughter, so you truly don't believe this is your child?
I am willing to accept that it may be, but we've not done a DNA test. What she said about being only with one Caucasian man, I have no way of knowing if that's true. She's lied before to me. So don't take, she was honest with a lot of the stuff she said fairly, but here's a big thing she forgot to mention. I have a son of my own. I have a newborn son, and with my fiance.
Congratulations.
What does that have to do with this?
This is
Well, I allowed you the opportunity to speak. This is his time. And now I asked you, was there anything else you needed me to know before I moved over to him?
But I already know he's going to push my buttons.
Okay, well, just sit there and don't let him push your buttons.
Okay.
That's the ease, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can do that.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
The judge isn't having it. She shuts the alleged father down fast, making it clear. His past with Miss McKinney doesn't matter. The only thing that does, the child's well-being. She orders a DNA test to confirm paternity and lays it out. If he's the father, he's paying child support. No excuses, no dodging. Miss McKinney, clearly fed up, barely holds back.